Like, it's still hot.
It's like a hot nightmare. You guys good?
We're on. We're live.
Oh, we're live.
We like hot mantars. Hello. Welcome to Dragon Talk. We are back. Sorry about the delay there. We had a bit of technical difficulties
Tito's
trying to get monitors to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. It's my fault. I take full responsibility for everything that's going to happen for the next half hour.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right.
We're already off the rails on many occasions here. So this is Random Character Generator. We are going to do the recording. You ready? Are you actually recording? We've been hot this whole time?
Oh.
We've been centaur hot this whole time?
Centaur hot.
Scintillating. All right.
Hot like a centaur.
You guys ready? Do you have
Ready.
any questions?
I'm ready.
You know what to do?
Oh, yeah, I've been briefed.
All right, sweet. So I'll do our introduction and intro, and then we'll get into doing this. All right?
Sounds good.
Welcome to another segment of Random Character Generator. Yeah! That's where me, Greg Tito, and Kate Welch, hello.
Me. That's
and
me. Hello.
Chris Perkins.
Hi.
Whoa!
What?
Where'd you come from?
He's joining us. We are going to create a random character on D&D Beyond and then use all of the randomness to create a character backstory and then allow you to sample this character and use it maybe as an NPC or as a PC in your game, but mostly as an exercise to see how numbers and feats and class features can be formed into a Voltron of awesomeness.
Yeah, randos for the fandos.
Oh,
That's
my
it.
God.
All right, we're renaming the segment.
No, I regret it already.
All right, so here is the time when I press the button.
Right.
It is going. D&D Beyond is
Beyond.
randomizing.
It's easier than ever to randomize a character.
There's circles. There are things happening. We're going
Okay,
to view the
all
character sheet.
Love
It is.
Oh.
Oh, how do you pronounce that?
Erzafir.
Erzafir,
Ooh.
a wood half-elf fighter.
A wood half-elf fighter. All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Getting into some Mary Sue here.
With a
That's good.
very high dexterity.
That
So
is
he's not a half wood elf fighter. He's an actual wood.
I like that.
fighter.
Yes. Okay. So he's made of wood.
Yes.
Nothing in D&D says you can't be made of wood.
Right?
True.
This
Why
is like
not?
Pinocchio,
All right.
but it's Erzafir.
He could have been a
Ooh.
tree.
Here's a fear. Yeah.
Or he could have grown out of a tree.
Once he was a tree. Maybe that's why he's got such high dexterity is that he had to like wiggle his own form out of the trunk of a tree.
Ooh, I like that. Pretty decent strength.
Yeah.
Constitution, all good for a fighter. This is actually a fairly optimized fighter.
Yeah.
-1 modifier for intelligence, so not smart.
Yep, he's definitely a tree. His only attack is an unarmed strike. So half tree, half elf, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Half tree, half elf. Ooh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The background is an entertainer.
Okay.
Maybe Pinocchio level might go more here.
Oh, okay. So this was a tree that somehow became awakened and uses its brute dexterity to fight, but also to put on shows.
Yes.
So is this like maybe fighting for the entertainment? Is this like a gladiator?
Oh, I could see that. What do you think, Chris? The skills here sometimes inform stuff. So performance,
yes.
obviously, that makes
Okay.
sense as an entertainer.
Wow.
Wow, a
Nature?
performing
Of course.
Nature.
fighter.
That seems
His
silly.
father was a tree, an awakened tree, and his mother was
An elf.
An elf.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh.
So father, mother, not actually awakening out of the tree, but the offspring
right. Yeah.
of a. Now, I have a lot of questions. One, how you said father tree, mother elf. How
Wood.
does?
Maybe his arm is actually a sculpted like violin.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I like that. So then, would you use the violin in combat as well?
But then he might break his violin.
Exactly.
That's
So he only fights with this hand.
yes.
And that's the one unarmed
His
strike.
bow
he's
hand.
got.
That's his bow hand.
His bow.
Oh, it's a bow.
His bow hand.
And a violin in the other.
Maybe it's like a. Could it be a bow, right?
Yeah.
But with kind of a like a javelin thing, a halberd thing on the
Yeah.
end. So you can like saw out a tune. You with your fiddle also. But if anybody gets too close, pah,
Yes.
you got him.
Yeah.
Stab him.
Yep.
Okay.
He's been
Interesting.
Does that count
Acrobatic.
as unarmed?
What do you think?
Does that count as an unarmed strike? I don't. That
fiddled.
sounds
Not
like
really.
a weapon.
That sounds like a weapon. Improvised
What
weapon.
if, okay, since he is half wood, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of other wooden parts to account for. Violin in this hand. This whole arm is the bow.
bow?
That's the bow. So there's like a big
There's like a string
splintery
that's-
dagger
yeah.
or something. There's a string that goes from one finger all the way up to maybe his elbow.
Right.
But then one or two of his fingers are just these crazy sharp wooden blades.
Fair. Yes.
Right?
He also doesn't have to attack with his arms. He could kick.
That is also true. Well, and
He might have roots.
the fighting style is great weapon fighting.
Oh, good. All right.
Oh, well then.
That is
Okay.
no sense made there.
Yeah, no, that would have been like the finesse weapon type thing
Right.
with the blades.
Maybe he's got a great club.
Sure. It does say, I want to see if Chris Perkins, you'll allow this. It says, on great weapon fighting, you can reroll a 1 or 2 on damage dice with melee weapons wielded with 2 hands. Are feet not just bottom hands? What do you think of that?
That's a creative interpretation of rules. Feet are not hands. No.
We have never written rules.
Humans are not four-handed creatures.
Not like
We've
sloths.
we've never written rules for if you just want to fight with your feet.
Right. And I think that's a great ad hoc rule, though.
I think so too. Okay.
Yep.
I like
All right.
that. All right. So Urzafir.
Here's a fear.
Here's a fear.
Yeah.
Urzafir has violin on one arm, bow in the other.
Right.
That is not used in fighting.
That's performance and entertaining.
Yeah.
Performance, getting that
Yeah.
part of it
Right.
involved. But then when it would fight, it would use its feet with 2 weapons,
Right.
both of them to kick and
Yes.
pounce on people.
Unless he's got like roots growing out of his toes, and he can just like fleck you with his roots.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
But-
That could work too.
So he took great weapon fighting, presumably, but it's not really working out for him.
Not so much.
But maybe he just doesn't need it. Maybe he took great weapon fighting to flaunt that he doesn't even need a weapon. It's like, I'm a great weapon fighter. Don't need it. Got these little feet.
Because it's a tree, right? You can kind of
Yeah.
move in a different way, and acrobatics is speaking to me a
He's
little
not
bit.
a tree, Greg.
He's half
a
tree.
wood half elf. Thank you.
Totally different. You're right.
Please.
He's got a lot of tree-like features, though.
He does.
And he
does.
could maybe plant with his arms somehow, and then spin with both of his legs to do a
Oh.
huge like club attack.
He could, but it would compromise the violent.
That's true.
And that's his number one greatest love.
But he's acrobatic, so maybe he's able to figure out a way to do it.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe like a soft surface.
It's also
Yeah.
possible that as a wood creature, he's got more than the normal number of limbs. So
Yeah.
because a tree doesn't just have 2
Oh.
limbs, or
That's
2 limbs,
true.
or 4 limbs.
So that's why he took great weapon fighting.
Yeah.
Because he's got a secret set of hands, rules lawyer. Real hands.
Yeah, which can hold real weapons.
Yeah. And he can while fiddling,
Yeah.
his other set of hands can
Right.
come to whack you with a
Right.
warhammer.
Or I like the idea of the Great Club, because the Great Club could actually be part of Dad.
Oh God. Dad's leg.
That's like
What happened to Dad? Is Dad no longer with us?
Dad is not with us any longer. Not in
it's
his current
possible
form.
that the end is like cleanly sawed off, so it's clear that Dad lost it to like a lumberjack or something.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's
Or
got like a revenge thing going on.
Yeah.
what if he gave it willingly because he knew
He,
his
like,
son
broke
was
it off?
destined to be a great fighter?
Yes.
A
And so
great
he said,
weapon fighter.
Yeah.
"Son, take this.
This
my
is-
favorite arm."
My favorite stump.
Oh, that's very good.
That's
like
good.
that.
and
Yeah.
he's gone out in the world to make his father proud, so he has the stump, but fiddling is his true passion.
Yeah.
That's what he really wants to do, but he's been like, he has to use the great weapon whenever he can.
That's right.
What about his mother, the elf? What is her story? Is she still around?
I think she was in the circus. He has a very high acrobatic skill, and obviously
Yeah, he
he's a
would have had to
performer.
get his entertainment,
Chops, right?
from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this makes sense if he was also at one point was in the circus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, she's an elf, and maybe she's dexterous, acrobatic, taught him some flexibility and cool trapeze moves and things. But I mean, he's a wood half elf. People were there to gawk at him, right? He was like a sideshow attraction.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it.
No.
You know, he didn't. You don't want to get gawked at like that. Your dad's a tree out in the forest. Your mom.
Until his dad was awakened, and then maybe the awakened tree was part of the act. Who
Oh,
knows?
sure. Could have
Yeah.
been. Yeah. Maybe this was something like they did a partner act, like a couples act, which was how they fell in love, right?
That's
Right?
sweet.
Like she would swing from his branches or whatever. You know what I mean? Wink.
I Don't actually. Can we get a diagram?
Yeah, we still got to go back to that question. How does a German Shepherd mate with a Chihuahua?
Very carefully.
Oh,
Arcane Archer?
He's an arcane archer.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. That actually works great because he took Druidcraft as his
Yes.
cantrip.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
Druidcraft.
could his bow? How about this? The bow, fiddle, also arrow.
Yes.
And he
Agreed.
fires with his left.
Agreed.
Hand.
Because he's dexterous, he's
Yes.
got like this. He's like a crack
Ambidextrous.
shot. He's
Ambidextrous.
cra-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not only is that it's a beautiful double entendre. A
Yes.
bow that's also a bow.
Get it?
Are you kidding me? It's incredible. This writes itself.
I do love this actually.
Are his arrows like made out of his siblings or what?
Ooh,
or possibly just gifts from his mother?
just more dad.
More dad?
That's so. What if it's actually like maybe parts of him? Okay, so he has 2 extra arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if more arms keep growing and he snaps them off and he uses those as the arrows for his bow?
You'd have to like pare them down.
Yeah, like he's got to keep himself trimmed.
Right.
Obviously. What are you
Yeah.
going to do with those trims?
And they get in the way too, right? Like you're trying to move around, you got this other limb trying to grow out
Yeah.
on your side. It's like, well, that's inconvenient.
Yeah, you stick it out, put it in your quiver.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and you just trim those out, and he's like,
Yeah.
all right, got them all ready to go.
Yep.
And that way the player doesn't have to track ammunition.
Yeah. And you know when he's like, he's down or he's depressed or whatever because they're just growing out of everywhere.
Right.
And you're like, buddy, what's wrong?
Look at that. He's proficient in history. So like he can like count dad's rings
Yeah.
and say
He's been around this many times.
that ring there, you see that scarring there, that's from the orc invasion where they tried to set the forest on fire and dad got a little singed. That ring there, that's when dad met mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he's got all
It's like,
the
I don't
great
like to
club.
look at that ring. It's gross. That's the honeymoon.
Mom and Dad, come on. Don't tell me about that in your rings.
It's also very perceptive,
Yeah.
which I
Correct.
suppose you would have to be if you were working like the carnival circuit and you're in the
If his
sideshow.
hair
Right?
is actually like leaves too, he'd feel like even the subtlest breezes.
Oh
blowing
yeah,
through his hair.
yeah. You wouldn't be able to breathe around him without him knowing who you are
Right.
and where you are. Right. Ooh, I like that. So he's got. Tell me about his hairstyle. Is it like long, flowy green leaves, or
Ooh, I don't know.
it's like a weeping willow, like real emo?
That could be fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I like
pretty
the
good.
weeping willow.
Yeah.
Is-
Gotta
was Dad a
he's
weeping
gotta
willow?
push it out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Dad was a weeping willow.
Yeah.
And
Old
so-
man Willow.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe in certain light, you see him and you think, that's elf. That's an elf. But then you see him with the sun dappling. You're like, those are leaves.
Leaves.
Yeah, those
Actual
are
leaves.
those are leaves
Yeah.
growing out of his head.
That's not just a circlet on his head. No,
No.
that's for real leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And then his hair falls out every winter.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
he's got maybe like people mistake him for an Eladrin, you know, and
Right.
he's very proud of the fact that no, he is a half elf and
And an awakened tree.
yeah, and half awakened tree. Thank you very much.
That's my heritage. What's his like call to action? Like, why is he adventuring? Like, why is he going out there and doing stuff? We mentioned the revenge. Is that? But then we went with the giving of the club rather
Yeah,
than.
revenge is cheap.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with the druid who animated his father, brought his father to life. Maybe that druid was an adventurer, and because the druid gave life to his dad,
It's like
and his
his
dad gave life to
grandparent or
him,
something,
he's like a
right?
grandparent. So maybe he's
Yeah.
gone out in the world to find this druid
Yeah.
and say,
that.
"Thank you for animating my dad."
And by extension, me.
Yeah.
Right, and making me.
And maybe there's a business where he's trying to make greeting cards because they don't exist for this kind of a
Yeah.
problem, right? Like, so he's an entrepreneurial sort.
That could absolutely work. And the other thing too is maybe the druid was in the forest living with his dad, but then got driven out by some evil, and so this guy's taken it upon himself to deal with the evil.
All right.
Okay. So
Maybe he's trying to quell evil through greeting cards.
Through greeting cards.
through greeting
yeah.
cards, yeah. Thank you for animating my dad. Isn't that like that's a whole niche of people who don't have a greeting card, and that he's probably out in the world trying to figure out like what are some other sentiments that don't get on greeting cards nearly as often as they should.
It's true, and as part of his druid craft, he can like grow little flowers and little buds, and then he'll put them in
You
the
can
middle of
press
the
them.
cards.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
kinds
for
of cards
sure.
there. Would you marry me?
Yeah.
Would you be mine?
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no, now it's just word
Valentine's
puns.
cards.
He's got a penchant for really bad
Valentine's
poetry.
puns. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, lots of tree-based puns
Yes.
for sure. I love you, tree.
Treely?
Treely. This is tree love. No,
Oh, yes.
This is tree
Yes. Yes.
oh my gosh.
Love it or leave it.
this show sucks.
What does Ear Zephyr sound like?
Oh,
Ears of fear.
Ear Zephyr? I'm pronouncing it differently now.
Ears of Fear sounds like that's the voice.
yeah,
what
like
is-
what,
what does
would
this person
if you were
speak
playing this
like?
character? What would
Right.
they sound like?
Maybe he talks like this.
Maybe it's a lot of.
Anger?
Greg can't stand mouth sounds, everyone. We just found this out before the show, so use that knowledge to your benefit.
That's what he does. He just does nonstop mouth sounds.
He's ASMR. He's an ASMR wood half elf, yeah, for sure.
Who does
He's
greeting
very
cards.
Very soft spoken like this.
Oh, okay.
Very,
Yeah,
very
that
tender. Yeah. And I mean, he expresses himself through music and sometimes fighting, but preferably music. And the sounds of snapping branches and waving leaves. And if he has to speak to you, then you know that shit is going down.
Yeah. One final detail that I don't know how it would fit in, and it's going to test you guys.
Okay.
Abyssal is one of the known languages. Why would
I thought you were going to point to the disguise kit, and then we're
Well,
like,
that
shit.
too. I mean, you could say that's in the performance, aspect
could.
of the circus.
And maybe there are places where being half tree is not
Look,
the
I'm an elm.
safest. Yeah.
Look, I'm an oak.
You want to be all tree.
maple.
Yeah, you're going to want to be all tree. Abyssal, I bet this has to do with the evil that drove his grandparent Druid out. Maybe it's demonic in nature.
Right, and maybe it's actually suffused parts of the forest, and there have been, like when he's hiding or masquerading as a young sproutling, maybe he overheard or befriended an invisible, like, quasit or something.
Ooh.
And didn't know what it was. Like maybe it was disguised in one of its more benign forms.
Sure.
And so learned to talk through this creature until he realized that the creature was actually an evil little turd.
What if are quasits able to disguise themselves so well that Erzafir would have thought that this was the Druid?
Possibly because they can assume some beast forms, like spider or bird, things like
yeah.
that. So
Oh man. So yeah, I bet in speaking to this Druid, maybe Erzafir actually thought that he was learning Druidic.
that would be awesome. He
But-
thought he was being taught Druidic, but he was actually
Exactly.
being taught
Abyssal, yeah, because this
Yeah.
quasit has been trying to, I don't know, turn Erzafir to its purpose.
Maybe that's what caused his mother to leave. She was afraid that he had been corrupted by evil.
Ooh, because he started speaking Abyssal,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
and
it's
he
like-
doesn't know.
Right. It's like playing your records backwards at home. It's just like your mom's like, "You're a Satanist."
You're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Starts splashing you with holy water.
Maybe the Quasit is trying to get Erzafir to lead him back to where the Druid fled to.
Oh, that would be cool too.
So he's actually doesn't even know that he's going to be a pawn in the Quasit.
Certainly, being a pawn of evil falls into his int 8 problem.
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is gullible. He'll go along with anybody who tells him anything.
Yeah.
Easily duped.
And I like the idea that this person is half tree. Like, should probably know what Druidic to me sounds like. It be like the flowing like wind and water and like the cry of an eagle occasionally that suffuses this language. But Abyssal's like, and I love the idea that this dumb ass fighter thinks that is Druidic, right? It's like, yes, the language of Druids. Yeah.
All right, that makes total sense.
He's written songs in that language.
Oh yeah, for sure. They do not play well. He sticks to the violin
And he
because
doesn't know
his
why.
lyrics. Yes.
He doesn't know why those greeting cards don't sell.
Those ones, who knows? You write it in that alphabet, and suddenly people are dropping dead.
All right, so who wants to give the summary of this character? Should I just go through it?
I think Chris
Yeah.
Perkins should.
Oh, well, I defer to Kay Welch, of course.
Our special guest.
All right. So Erzafir is a half tree, half elf, who's got a weapon that he took off his dad's body, a wooden great club, in one set of arms that he can wield masterfully. But then you look on the other side, and he's got arms that are basically a bow, which you can use as a weapon bow,
Mm-hmm.
and a bow which you can use as a violin bow, which he uses to play his violin or fiddle, which is carved out of his other arm. So he is a dashing, half-wood fighter, musically inclined, who, at a very young age, being somewhat of a little dullard, thought he was learning Druidic from a fiend in disguise, but it turned out to be abyssal, and that offended his mother and caused her to abandon him. But he's taken on a life of adventure to find this Druid who animated his father, maybe to help the Druid drive the evil out of the forest, but also to thank him for making him the half-elf, half-tree that he is.
Beautiful.
Excellent. I love
Story
this.
for the ages.
Everyone can use this character in their campaigns.
Easily the best one we've ever done.
I enjoy this thoroughly. Thank you, guys. We are going to put a link to this character on my D&D Beyond account if you'd like to use any or all of what we just pulled out of our butts. You may do so. It's fantastic. Ears of Fear. And I love this. This entire concept just came from a joke of a wood half. The fact that we were like wood elf. No, it's a wood half elf.
Yes.
Straight from the brain of Chris Perkins.
Yes.
That kind
Sorry.
of garbage.
Yeah.
But it's amazingly creative, and I love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
How can people pester you for more stories of what's going on with Ears of Fear on the social media, perhaps?
I'm on Twitter at Chris Perkins DND.
I am on Twitter at Kate Well. 4 H's.
Excellent. I want everyone to tell us the story of what happens to this character in your
Yes.
campaigns.
Yes, please.
Thanks very much.
I'm rooting for him.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Thank you
I'm
guys.
so sorry, everybody.
So much.
This was definitely my idea, and I regret it.
This is all due to Kate. We can blame Kate. It's a new hashtag. We're bringing it back.
No.
And I was never invited back again.
Thank you, Chris. That was awesome.
I enjoyed that a lot.
I knew you were going to be amazing at this. Yes.
Thank
It's
you.
just BS.
It's just BS,
It's
yeah.
just BS. And you are the king of BS. I am inspired by your BS.
We have. Oh, sure. Yeah. We will definitely do that in chat, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to do this. It's super fun. You can talk amongst yourselves and or create more stories in the chat about what happens to Ears of Fear going forward. And we are going to be out of here right now. Again, I'm not going to be here next week. TBD on whether Shelley will be here. But look for us 2 weeks from today doing more interviews with more fun stuff. In about 15 minutes, Binwin Plays Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is going to be on this here channel. Stick around for that. I know, I ran out of air.
Breathe!
Back, use the diaphragm. It's all happening. Channel, I don't know what you're talking about. I am too old, and you should go listen. Thank you for being with us for these last 4 hours. You're awesome. Let's give it up for Ryan and Pelham.
Whoa!
Yeah!
Everyone, Pelham needs to give me his shirt.
That's right.
Thank you. For
On camera.
Take it off, you coward.
Take it off. All right, we're going to go not live when that happens. But for those of you who subscribe, we might let you know.
Yeah, if you're not paying us, you don't get to see that.
See you later, everybody.